What's going on, troops? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Nexx X WED3, and I happen to have one right here. Let's get into it. So at the time of filming, you're looking at around £260 up to around $330. They're currently on sale. Usually if you go onto the Nexx website, you're looking at about $700. However, 260 will get you the forest green. The higher end you're looking at for the desert colour, which I've got here. So the build of the helmet itself, it's got a 6-layer multi-composite shell. Within that, it's got an EPS anti-vibration system, which essentially, as you're moving at high speeds, it's going to stop all the vibrations inside, making the helmet a little bit safer as you're riding at high speed. So the weight of the helmet is coming in at around 1790. I've looked around online, it seems fairly accurate. I haven't got a set scale, so I haven't weighed it myself. Looking at other people's sort of accurate scales, what they're saying is what you're getting. Some more of the build of the helmet. Your strap there, it's got the double D loop. It's also got a magnet. So once you've got your double D in, you can bring it back on itself and snap it in with a magnet. Saves you having to dig around trying to find the little popper to put it on, which is quite nice and easy. Everything in there is removable, so you can take it all out, give it a wash, put it all back in there. It's also got the emergency pull-away strap, so if you do have an accident, then you can just pull it all straight out. There's a lot of features on this helmet. If you look on the back here, you can put your goggles through there. The reason they've done that, you can actually take this visor off and you've got blanking plates that will fit in place there. So if you're doing motocross, you can take your visor off, bang your goggles over, and they'll be held in place nice and neat there. Again, like I said, a very versatile helmet. If you want to use it as a street helmet, you can. On your peak, you've got 2 little screws either side. All you're going to do, unscrew those. You can take your peak off, screw them back in just to keep them obviously safe, and then you can use it as a street helmet. Ventilation for this helmet is incredible. There is essentially 7 ventilation points. So you have one on the chin here, you've got one on the side here, one sort of central just underneath your peak there, another one on the left hand eyebrow sort of side there, and then you've got 4 exhausts at the back of the helmet. So 7 ventilation points. When I've been out, I've been sort of using this around Salisbury Plain. Very hot days towards the sort of end of summer when the heat was really kicking up. The vents, they're good. Keep it nice and ventilated as well. Plus, you've also got the option with your peak, having your visor all the way up. And then, if you're still a little bit worried, another feature of this helmet is the drop-down visor inside. So you've got this little lever up here, just to drop your visor, internal visor up and down. So the visor itself, you've got a little push-up central tab for it there. It's a little bit awkward when you're off-roading. You have got a slightly smaller one here on the side and another one on this side, but your main sort of tab is up here. When that's fully closed, it pushes pressure back in to the seal there, and it does become completely watertight. So once that's down, you're not going to get splashed. So if you are green laning or off-roading, whatever, if you're doing it in wet and you're going through, I don't know, river passes or whatever, that will hold up and the water will not get in. So another cool thing about this, it will come with 3 camera mounts. So you've got one on the front, one on the side, and one on the top. You'll get a little bag that will have all the mounts on there. They're very easy to assemble. It's literally just a couple of bolts in there, Allen key that will come with it, tighten it on, and it's pretty much universal. So it will work with GoPro. Obviously I use the Acaso, it's all nice and fitting there. And like I said, you'll have a separate mounting plate on the side, and again, if you want to look like a Teletubby, bang it on the top. So as the same as quite a lot of their helmets, on the side here you've got another tab. If you undid that, it is comms ready, they like to call it, so you can put in the XCOM3 or the XCOM3 Pro or whatever model they're on now. It's basically the Nexx, their own communication model, so you can bang that in there. Last time I looked, that was going to set you back about another 150. However, I haven't checked recently. I don't know if the models have changed, but it's going to add probably another couple of £100 onto already a fairly expensive helmet. Going back to the visor, it is pin lock ready, and it will come with a pin lock as well. I don't think you'd need it purely because the amount of ventage in there. However, I can't live without pin lock, so I immediately put mine in. I haven't tried it without, so I can't tell you whether it is necessary or not. I just advise putting it in. I mean, it comes with it anyway, why wouldn't you? More with the visor. This visor, the field of vision on it is unlike any helmet I've ever used before. I thought Rorak was relatively good for the field of vision. However, this thing, even if I'm trying to look at the edge of the helmet, I genuinely can't see it. It's just a huge sort of field of view. It's incredible. Everything inside the helmet is completely removable, it's washable, it's anti-allergen, it's all good to go. It's made for comfort, so everything in there you should be able to take out, wash it, put it back in, and you should be straight back on the road. Again, like I said, all anti-allergen, moisture wicking liner. So to change your visor, make sure it's in the the fully open position. All you're going to do is push that little quick release button there, and that's your visor coming away. It'll make it easier if you took your peak off, however you can do it with the peak still on. I think it goes without saying, it's a relatively noisy helmet. However, you've got vents all over the place, so it's kind of expected. You've got the peak on there, that's going to catch wind. It's just not your sort of helmet designed for quiet cutting around through motorways and dual carriageways, etc. I left the peak on, I went down to Farnborough, it's about an hour's ride. We hit a couple of dual carriageways. Even with the peak on, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. The wind sort of rushes through it. It's fairly aerodynamic. There's a lot of gaps there for the wind to get through. So if you are going to go for a relatively spirited ride, even with the peak on, it's not going to cause much disadvantage. I would advise probably taking it off if you're not going to be green laning for a while. Just set it back to the street riding, take your peak off, put the plugs back in, you'll be good to go. Just use it as a street helmet as it's intended to. Usually I get the safety ratings from the Sharp website, however this one is currently not listed. There are a fair few Nexx models on there. The X.Wed3 currently isn't on there. As far as comfort goes, this is by far the most comfortable helmet I've got. The sizing is spot on. It's the only helmet I don't use a balaclava with. All my other helmets I have to put a balaclava on just to get the helmet on easier. However, with this, it will go on perfectly, it will fit fine, and I can wear this all day off-roading and it'll be mega. They currently produce it with 3 shell sizes, so you've got XXS to small, medium to large, and XL to XXL. When you buy the helmet, obviously new, it will come with a 2-year warranty. Obviously you won't get that if you get it off of eBay or any sort of second-hand retailer. So my final sort of parting thoughts on this helmet. I used it a fair bit towards the back end of summer 25. It was fairly hot. I'd say fairly hot, it was incredibly hot. I think it was like one of the hottest summers we had on record. I was going around Salisbury playing with it. Really comfortable. We was doing a lot of off-roading. We was out for the best part of the whole day every time we went out. Never had an issue, the comfort was fine, had it on all day. Ventilation was perfect, I didn't really overheat. Obviously I had to take it off now and again, pull over, hydrate and grab a snack, etc. So it wasn't on continuously for the whole day, but I was getting, I'd say, up to about 6-7 hours of riding a day wearing that, and I had absolutely no issues. Throughout the whole thing, visibility was fine, ventilation was fine, comfort was fine. All round, absolutely amazing bit of kit. I think aesthetically, it looks amazing. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, if you like Halo, you kind of feel a bit like Master Chief of it. I think they do a gold visor, so I think they're probably buying into that vibe a little bit. But I think I'll probably bang the gold visor on there just for that sort of nerdy bit there. Yeah, overall, looks great, feels great. I think it's just a solid bit of kit. And if you're looking to get into the green lane and the off-roading, I think it's a pretty good place to start. That's all I've got for you in this video. Hopefully it's been helpful. If there's anything I've missed, please do drop a comment and I'll sure to get back to you. I will answer you. I answer everything across the channel. Until next time, stay safe, stay low, move fast, take it easy.